don't need another country. You need to become in tune with the Spirit of God. And even though the economy of this country will fall, God will bless you in it. He has the ability to change the nature of a lion. He has the ability to change the very nature of your situation. You do not need to be taken out of your situation. You need God to come in your situation. Because when God rocks up, things happen. Are you getting what I'm saying? It was not the furnace. It was the fourth man in the furnace that was walking with them that caused the flames of the furnace not to touch them. What happened? The furnace was still there, but the nature of the furnace was changed by the presence of God. Your situation doesn't need to change. You don't need a new husband or a new wife. You don't need a new job. You need God to come in your job. You need God to come in your marriage. You need God to come in your home, and He will change the very nature of your husband and your wife and your job. This is the God we serve. And the enemy knows that. That's why he'll keep you in the carnality of your flesh. He will keep you in a place of obscurity from the destiny of God. This is his nature. You notice the nature of the enemy. He cannot create anything. The Bible says in the book of John 10:10, it shows us the nature of the enemy. He comes to steal and to kill and to destroy, because he can create nothing. There is one creator, and his name is Jehovah El Shaddai. It was his voice that created everything. The enemy is a counterfeit. He cannot create your destiny. So you don't need to engage in the things of the flesh, because he can do nothing. He doesn't have the power to change the nature of the storm. This is what David said. David said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You lead me beside still waters. You lay Yarasukarananda. You lay me down in green pastures. You see, we're worried about the storm because we're looking at the storm in the power of our flesh. When you extract yourself from the flesh and you start to walk in the Spirit, you see the storm in a different way. It has the nature of the storm changes. People will say, but why? Why are you not afraid? Why are you not stressed out when you're going through this? But they seen the storm through the flesh. I'm seeing the storm through the Spirit. The same storm that you saw in the flesh is stilled in the Spirit. Hear the word of the Lord. When the disciples were on the boat, and the Bible says after the feeding that the winds were blowing and the boat was about to go down, and they were looking at the storm in the power of the flesh. The storm has power when you live in the carnality of your flesh. But when you live in the power of God, the storm, nature is changed. Now Jesus could not understand them. They were all stressing, and Jesus said, it is I. And when Peter, oh Jesus, you got to catch this. This was looking at the storm in the flesh on the boat. The wind was all over. On the storm waters, Jesus was there. And Peter went to Jesus. He changed the very nature of the storm. He didn't need the Peter to be taken out of the sea so that he can walk on dry ground. God made the sea dry ground. God didn't need to change the direction of the Israelites. He made a path right through the Red Sea. God didn't need to change the nature of the desert. He brought manna in the desert for them. God didn't need to change the nature of the Jordan River in flood season to take them to their destiny. He's someone make a path right through it. This is what David came to understand. Yeah, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because you have the power to change the nature of the valley. We are worried about the future of this world. That is God's problem, not yours. You need to be engaged in God. I don't know what the future holds. I know it's bad. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the economy holds for my business. But I know it's not normal. But what I do know, if I will hold on to this God, if I will attach my business to Him, if I will attach my family to Him, I don't know what's coming, but I know this God has the power to change the nature of what is coming. Because there's always a part of God for His people. Throughout history, you will live and you will learn that the storms of this world came through all civilizations. They came. God did not stop it. But there was a special nation that He chose. And the storms that were raging around them had no power over them. When you engage, when the Ark of the Covenant is in your midst, the desert is stripped of its power. The cold of the desert night has no power over you. When the Ark of the Covenant is in your home, divorce will have no power over your marriage. When the Ark of the Covenant is in your business, lack has no power